This Pitch Breakfast video is brought to you by Spangler and Agans, attorneys for Charlotte's startup community.
I'm Aaron Galloway, founder and CEO of InfiniGift. We make it easy to build financial foundations for yourself and establish financial legacies for future generations through gift registries. So I wanted to start with a question. We haven't had much interaction. How many of you have ever given or received a gift? Okay, next question. How many of you know the value of that gift today? And therein lies our problem. Most of the gifts that you give or receive are going to lose cash value over time. Doesn't matter whether it's a wedding, baby shower, housewarming, anything. But let's focus just on weddings, right? My slide cut off. So that number is 5. There's over 5,000 weddings per day in the United States. If we bring it closer to home, just in North Carolina, we have 188 weddings per day. Average size of a wedding is 139 people. Average gift size is $111. So we make an assumption. We assume that everybody's a couple, and they're all really cool people, so they're going to give you a gift. That's 70 gifts per wedding. If we do a little math, that's over 13,000 wedding gifts just in North Carolina every single day. And that doesn't account for baby showers. There's over 11,000 people born every day. And the good news is, InfiniGift doesn't have to teach people to give from a registry. Over 86% of people have given a gift from a registry. Everybody raised their hand in this room. But it's not just about gifts, right? Financial foundation and legacy are important to people. In fact, 4 out of 5 people believe that financial foundation for themselves is very important, and another 4 out of 5 people believe that financial legacy for future generations is very important. So we've highlighted this huge opportunity. We've highlighted the fact that financial foundation and legacy are important, so it would lead one to believe that people would give gifts that grew in value, right? That makes sense. So why don't they? Because investing is confusing and people feel like they don't have enough money. And this is especially true amongst younger people like myself. So 69% of millennials think that investing is confusing, and another 40% or 41% feel that they don't have enough money to invest. Student debts are, let me tell you firsthand, they're crazy. But what if it was easy to build a financial foundation through the gifts that you're already going to receive? Well, InfiniGift is that solution. So how does it work? I'll take myself for an example. I got married in September. So let's flash back to February, where my now wife and I are putting our registry together. Well, we wear Nike shoes, and we buy Nike shoes from Foot Locker, and we fly on Southwest Airlines, and we talk to each other on Apple phones. So we put that on our registry just like we would put plates, cups, and blenders on a registry at Amazon. And we send that out to our friends and family who are on our wedding list. They see it, and they say, you know what, I'm going to get Aaron and Montina 1 share of Apple. And so they would put it in their cart, and then we charge our InfiniGift fee, and I want to make a pause here because this is very important. This is how we make money. So we charge a fee on every gift given. Our goal is to get as many gifts given on our platform every day as possible. All right, now back to the checkout. So they check out, credit card information, debit card information, payment information, and they check out just like Amazon or Target. We receive a notification, Mr. Garzon, thank you very much, sent us the 1 share of Apple, and we accept the gift, and we are on our way to building that foundation and establishing that legacy. And it cost us nothing. And the beautiful thing about it is, it's not a one-time thing. I'm not getting married every year. I plan on getting married once. But the registries open up on the anniversary of the event for which they were created or the birthday of the person who created them. So think about a baby shower use case. You've got baby shower, birthday 1, birthday 2, birthday 3, so on. And we have stocks upon stocks and growth upon growth. And we had a discussion about colleges earlier, and now instead of saying, how am I going to pay for college, we're saying, what college do you want to go to, right? And this was all helped by your community. You did not put any principle towards this. It's really great. And speaking of growth, if we can get to 100 daily average trades, in layman's terms, that means 100 gifts given on our platform per day, we'll be at a 12-month run rate of 182,000 plus. If we can get to 1,000 daily average trades, it's cut off because it's just that big, we'll get to $1.8 million in terms of 12-month run rate. But these customers don't grow on trees. Our customer acquisition strategy is going to be twofold: paid social and experiential. From a paid social side, we're going to be leveraging the Google network, which includes YouTube. We're going to be doing paid Facebook and Twitter. This is my background. I've done marketing for the last 5 years for Ford Motor Company and Driven Brands. And then from an experiential standpoint, we're going to be going to the wedding conventions and the baby shower conventions and the event planning conventions. Our customer acquisition cost is $8.19, and we expect the 3-year customer value of just wedding customers to be $420. So we've talked about the opportunity, we've talked about the challenge, and we've presented the fact that InfiniGift is the solution to building that financial foundation and establishing that legacy. Simply put, InfiniGift is gifts that grow with you. Once again, I'm Aaron Galloway. I want to thank you for your time and open the floor for any questions.
Aaron, a very nice job on the presentation. So a couple of questions, and actually I want to start out by asking the audience. So who has made a financial gift, right, to somebody instead of a regular wedding type of gift to something? Raise your hand. Okay, so you got some potential customers out there. Good. I thought your comment about millennials was interesting and not understanding investments. Or not having that kind of focus. Is there anything that you have in terms of size of market, right? Of how big do you think this market's going to be? You normally when I see investor pitches that they typically like to do sort of that top down, right? Total addressable market. And then you did some of the bottom up, which by the way I appreciate because a lot of startups won't do that, right? Of here's how I can actually go grab a customer and here's how much I make. So I think very good job in doing the bottom up. But can you address the sort of the top down, the total addressable market for sort of gifts and what percentage of that you think would be financial and how big is that market, right? Because that creates sort of the shiny object that gets venture investors interested.
So what we've done so far is we're looking at it not necessarily from a person engagement, but how many of those 13,000 gifts can we get, right? There is some more work to be done in terms of segmenting it out and giving more specific in who gives what of those gifts. But what we've done so far is just looked at it from there's 13,000 gifts in North Carolina every day. If we can get less than 1% of that, which is 100, then we will be at $182,000 of run rate. But to your point, there's a little bit more work to be done in terms of breaking out the addressable market.
And I did like the breakout with your customer acquisition cost in terms of using social media to get your 819. And then you said the 3-year value was 420. I'm sorry. I did write down 420. I just can't read this morning. How do you get to 420? I mean, the 819, I think I understand how you get there, but how do you get to the 420?
All right, so the assumption is 70 gifts per wedding, right? We're assuming that the average customer is only going to get 50% of the people on their list to give in year 1. And then because it opens up in year 2, 40% and 30%. Using the base number of 5, that leads you to $420 over 3 years.
And one final question for me, and I'll sound a little bit like a broken record here from the prior presentations, but if you're investor focused here, what's the ask, right? How much are you looking for, and what are you going to do with it?
It was a marketing pitch.
Oh, this is marketing. I'm sorry. Okay, but then. But
now I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. Well researched. You had a lot of statistics about the market, your customer acquisition cost, your lifetime value of the customer. So well researched. Honestly, for 3/4 of your pitch, I was still trying to figure out what is this. So first slide, summarize what the product is, what you're solving for, and who your target customer is. I was confused for a while until you got to like the third to last slide, and then it's like, okay, you're talking about giving on the stock side of things. So it just took me a while to figure it out, which distracted me, I guess, from your pitch for a little while. Is the technology complete?
No.
Okay, you're still working through that. So you haven't gone through what the last presenter as far as getting it approved by the Apple Store and everything like that. And then on the back end, so if you actually gift stocks, and again, I don't know this all that well, but who's the custodian that's holding the stock, and how is it going to be transferred to their account? Have you researched that side of things?
Yes, so we're actually looking for one of our key partners, which is a broker. Okay. So one of our key competitors is Stockpile. And what they do is they allow you to purchase gift cards that you can use for stock, but you can also use them to go buy a pair of shoes, right? The benefit that they have, or what they have that we don't, is they have a built-in brokerage house. So the way that we would have to clear these trades is we would have to partner with a brokerage, which is what we're doing right now. We're in the process of finding a solid partner. And the broker would handle anti-money laundering. They would also handle clearing the trades. Okay. And then we would pass the customer through to the brokerage. So effectively, the customer would be a customer of that brokerage. We would sit on top of the brokerage and pass through.
Okay. I know a guy here that you should talk to. His name is Big Callie.
Okay. Okay.
Nice job. Last thing, I love the tagline, gifts that grow with you. I like that.
Well, thank you.
But then how do you make sure that Foot Locker grows, you have proper diversification? How do you do education for the millennials that find investing confusing?
So that's first, thank you for your question. The whole point of this is to almost democratize investing, so make it simple. The reason why we chose the stocks and the reason why I presented it that way is that's exactly how we want to engage people. We want to make it visual as compared to stock tickers. So instead of NKE, you'll see a picture of a shoe. We have to be very careful in what we suggest to people because we're not an actual brokerage and I don't have the certifications to be an advisor. But our whole point is we want to make it simple and we want people to look at investing not as this thing that's at the top floor of the Bank of America building, but as something where I wear Joseph A. Bank suits, right? Or I wear, which is now Men's Warehouse. So I'm going to buy Men's Warehouse, right? I own the things that I own is effectively what we're going after. So to the same way that I answered the first question, we're still processing our way through exactly how we're going to make it simple. But our whole point is make it simple, make it plain, make it open for everyone, and allow your family, friends, and community to help you build wealth.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.